Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing The Night Gwen Stacy Died by Sarah Bruni. And yes, this has something to do with Spider-Man. The Night Gwen Stacy Died is a coming-of-age story about 17-year-old Sheila Gower who is bored with her life. She wants to go away to Paris and get away from her small town in Iowa where she works at a gas station. One day, a good-looking guy who goes by the name of Peter Parker comes into the gas station, and Sheila is immediately fascinated with him. So one day, the two of them stage a fake robbery and a fake abduction, and they run away to Chicago. What's more, Peter begins to call Sheila after Spider-Man's first girlfriend, Gwen Stacy. The Night Gwen Stacy Died is a book about self-identity and the identity that others give us. It's also a story about saving others as well as saving ourselves. I won this book through the Goodreads giveaway section, and to be honest, it was the title that first grabbed my attention. I have watched all of the Spider-Man movies, and I know that Gwen Stacy is one of Peter Parker's, or aka Spider-Man's, girlfriends. So it was the title that grabbed me, but also this cover is super adorable. It's really hard to see the details on this cover, but it's kind of pixelated, sort of. And it's in the shape of a coyote, and for its eyes is the two protagonists. It's like a silhouette of their heads, and then for its nose is like a little heart. But yeah, I thought this cover was the most adorable thing, so that's kind of... the title and the cover is one of the reasons why I signed up for the book. Like I said, the title is a reference to a Spider-Man comic, but you do not have to know anything about the Spider-Man comics in order to enjoy and appreciate this book. So don't let all of the Spider-Man references distract you from this novel. Even if you do not understand the Spider-Man references, Sarah Bruni will at some point explain it within the narrative. Because even the main character, Sheila is she's not familiar with the comics either. So when she's learning about Spider-Man, the reader is learning about Spider-Man as well. So basically, Sarah Bruni doesn't leave you in the dark and expect you to know everything. And if you've never read a Spider-Man comic, then obviously the title of this book is a spoiler. And it's this spoiler that is the big point and the big piece of symbolism that is spread over the course of the book. There were elements about the book that I really enjoyed. I liked the opening on Sheila's life and how her life is very dull and boring. There's nothing spectacular about it. She's just an average, ordinary teenage girl. And she wants to run away to Paris. I loved the mystery surrounding Peter. He's this enigma from the very start. You're left questioning, is this guy crazy? Why does he call himself Peter Parker? What's his real name? Why does he call Sheila Gwen Stacy? And what's his connection to the Spider-Man stories? And Peter, like his namesake, has a certain type of supernatural ability. Peter is able to have this sixth sense of some sort. He keeps dreaming about people, just people he has no clue who they are. They just appear randomly in his dreams. But he feels like it's his mission to go save these people, hunt them down and save them before their real death occurs. So what did I not enjoy about this novel? The thing that I didn't like so much about this book was how chaotic it felt on occasion. Plot often felt abrupt sometimes. Even the ending of the book is really abrupt, and you're kind of left hanging at the end, wondering what you just read. Let me put it this way. This is the type of book that once you finish the final paragraph, the final word, you have to close the book and sit and think about what you just read. The symbolism is pretty intense. It's really hard to describe what this symbolism is, and I'll just say that there's a lot of symbolism involving coyotes. At the start of the book, Sheila is going to this museum where she's talking to this stuffed coyote. Even later in the book, she has a pet coyote. When Sheila and Peter are watching the news, they learn about random coyote attacks. And there's even a character who has a chapter heading that is a coyote. You can see it here. There's a coyote for this character. And speaking of the chapter headings, like I said, there's a character who has a coyote for his chapter heading. There's no chapters in this book. They don't say like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and so on. They just use headings. For instance, when it's Sheila's narrative, we see the Eiffel Tower. Like this. When it's Peter's narrative, we see a spider web. Like this one. I really thought the chapter headings were really cute ideas, and so whenever there was a narrative shift, you always knew who was speaking because of that particular heading symbolizing who that person is. Overall, I thought this book was pretty okay. It wasn't boring, but neither was it overly amazing. I did keep wondering when anything was ever going to happen. The plot was kind of slow sometimes. Sometimes there would be a lot of plot and things would move ahead quickly, but then sometimes there would just kind of be this standstill and like a lot of information thrown at you about these characters. The good stuff in the book seriously probably didn't even happen until 50% of the way into the book. And a lot of the coyote symbolism was seriously going right over my head. I was having trouble trying to figure out what this symbolism meant. I knew it meant something, but at the same time I was having trouble kind of compressing all of it into my head and figuring out what it all means. But the book does make up with really fascinating, interesting characters that you do grow to like. Plus, I really liked all the Spider-Man references and how they figured into the overall plot of the book. So who would I recommend this book for? I would consider this book a contemporary romance of sorts. So if you like contemporary-based books, you'd probably really like this. Also, if you like all things Spider-Man, you might want to pick it up to see what the big deal is. So yeah, that's it for my review of The Night Gwen Stacy Died. Have any of you guys read it? Are you interested in reading it? Let me know. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!